Welcome to Unqualified.
Hi, my name is Rashita.
I'm Bianca.
And I'm Amanda, and we're three teens who live in Arizona and decide to make a podcast. First things first, as always, Bianca, quote of the day.
All right, so the quote of the day today is, "Obstacles are things a person sees when he takes his eyes off his goal." And that's by E. Joseph Kosman, a businessman and author who served in the U.S. Army in the 1940s.
Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about environmental issues and environmental awareness especially. We wanted to make this episode because we're actually all part of the Environmental Awareness Club at our high school. So I'm the secretary.
I'm the vice president.
And I'm the public relator.
Yeah, so the main purpose of our club is to inspire conservation in the community through fundraising and outreach. So we participate in the U.S. Youth Climate Strike. We organize weekly meetings and agendas. A lot of the things we've done for communities, we've sold metal straws at our school. We're in charge of the recycling routes. And we've done a bunch of environmental projects like making bird feeders. We also made what were they, aromas? We made oranges with cloves in them for
And we
And we
watch
made,
TED Talks,
mhm.
fashion, and just how to conserve the environment in general.
Yeah, definitely.
So this leads to kind of our current events situation right now, which are the fires in California. So if you don't really know anything about this, the fires in California actually started, according to New York Times. There was a baby reveal party where a smoke-generated pyrotechnic device was used, and there was around 4-foot tall grass, and it caused the grass to catch on fire. They tried to put out the fire, but it didn't work, so they called 911, and this started a chain reaction of fires. It originally started at El Dorado Ranch Park. The fire is now, and it may be bigger already, the size of New Jersey, and this is approximately 750,000 acres. The fire is spreading to Portland, Oregon, where over 1 million acres in Oregon have been burned. And there's 500,000 people in evacuation. It's killed 15 people and over 3,900 buildings burned. This is also the largest fire in California's state history. So it's pretty crazy what's happening in California, and this is all, a lot of it is due to climate change and how we aren't taking action. We aren't taking firm action for the environment.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that it's happening now because I feel like it just happened last year. I think it was at this time almost exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's also
exactly what I was going to say. It feels like it was so recent that people were
Mhm.
just getting over the last
I
wildfire to spread.
know. And I mean, there's also fires here in Arizona as well, which is obviously not as bad as in California, but it's kind of crazy for it to be right near us as well.
Yeah, and it's decreasing the air quality, which
Hmm.
it's not very visible here, but I know in California the skies are not clear anymore,
I know,
which
I
is
mean, the pictures that you've seen it's insane.
It's crazy. I've seen so many photos of how the skies are orangey yellow
Mhm.
in California just because of the fire. The smoke from the fire is just spreading in the air, and so it's decreasing the air quality.
Yeah, it's crazy.
on top of COVID too. So
I know.
yeah. All right. So the next issue that we're going to talk a little bit about is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So essentially, it's a collection of marine debris in the North Pacific Ocean. So it consists of litter that ends up in the ocean. It's all human litter, and it's a vortex known as a gyre, and it's about 20 million square kilometers, which is about 7.7 million square miles. So this thing is huge. And one of the biggest issues that it brings up is microplastics. So because plastics don't break down, all the plastic waste that humans have littered into the ocean just breaks down and doesn't just gets smaller and smaller. So there's these tiny pieces of plastic all littering the ocean, and it affects sea animals and their habitats, and it's just crazy what an effect we can have on the ocean. And because it's so far away from any country's coastline, no nation will take responsibility or provide the funding to clean it up. And because it's so big and it has microplastics, cleaning up the garbage patch would be a huge job. And Charles Moore, the man who discovered the vortex, says that cleaning it up would bankrupt any country that tried to.
I think that's like insane because I feel like people like know what it is and everything, but it's so hard to actually do something about it because we've let it be for so long and nobody's done anything, and now it's just like out of control, and it's kind of like there's like nothing, like no countries are gonna try to do anything because
Yeah,
it's just not. Yeah.
I definitely like agree. Like I remember last year, even like now, but I remember last year like a big thing was like the usage of plastic straws and how a
Mm-hmm.
lot of restaurants were becoming aware that this Great Pacific garbage patch, like um a lot of the garbage that serves like straws, like plastic straws, and so many restaurants are trying to make a change by not offering straws or just offering like just the cups without straws. And so like I think that we need to continue to keep that up in order to like reduce this from happening, just because it's so hard to clean it up now that now we just need to stop like using plastic and stop just throwing away things that can be reused.
Exactly. And it's because this has been going on for a really long time. It's been collecting trash for a really long time. And if you look at it, like from an overhead view, it's visible. Like you can see that it's pieces of trash just collected in this big clump in the middle of the ocean. And
Yeah,
it's disappointing.
and even another big thing is that there's animals living in the ocean. Like they're being affected, their environment, their habitat is being taken away because of our trash, because of our inability to like protect our planet and our environment. And so not only are we like hurting ourselves by just throwing away things that can be reused or sources of using sources that like can't be renewed, we're not only doing that, but we're also affecting the environment of animals, and that's just going to lead to more conflict and more disaster eventually.
Exactly.
So another thing that we're talking about is renewable energy. So there's 5 sources of renewable energy that are most common, and that is solar, wind, hydro, which is water, biomass, and geothermal. Ways to be renewable is to use solar panels, and that in using solar panels, you are absorbing the sun's rays as a source of energy for generating electricity or heating. You can also use electric energy cars. These save a lot of, well, this just is better for pollution because there's less pollution if you're using electric energy cars.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
what do you guys
definitely.
think about renewable energy?
No, I definitely think I know it's definitely an expensive option. I think obviously electric cars
Right.
are
Right.
very expensive, but if you have the money and if you're willing to do it, I think it's a great thing to do because I mean, any little bit helps.
And I think it is better in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get solar panels installed, obviously it's a big upfront payment, but later on I think it will be more beneficial for you.
Yeah. Definitely. So also with these things, there's other, I wouldn't say smaller things, but other things that you can do to live more sustainably. So for example, like we were talking about with our club, metal straws. Instead of using plastic ones, metal ones, you can reuse them. So you don't have to throw away things that could be harmful to the environment. Also, please make sure to recycle. It's super easy.
Mhm.
Make sure to check the rules of your county or city that you live in so you know the items that you recycle. If you recycle items that aren't on the list, it's very hard for the people to sort them out and stuff. And also with recycling, reselling, and donating old clothes to like shelters or to Goodwill and things like that are great options if you don't want, because there's no point in really throwing it away. You can give it to someone who needs it more, and it wouldn't go into the environment. Another thing would be reusable water bottles. Instead of using plastic water bottles and paying for that, it's a lot easier to just use your own water bottle and just keep refilling that with water. And also, along with that, reusable containers for food, for like lunch and stuff like that. And also, another super easy thing is turning off all lights and appliances that you aren't using. I feel like people overlook this a lot, and just like, I mean, I've definitely just like left a light on by accident. But it helps to just reduce overall household energy use,
And
which
it also cuts down on your energy bill. So,
so very true.
and another thing is there's certain hours of the day. So like I know in Arizona, I think it's like 3 to 6 or something, where
Mhm.
that's the like hottest times. So that's when energy use is like the most expensive and does
Yeah.
like it has the biggest impact on the environment. So like staying out of those active zones
Yeah, I was
is
gonna add
beneficial.
to that. Even like using the laundry machine or the dishwasher. I know in my house we try to use it during the times when there's less I don't know, when it's cheaper, I guess. Wait.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
So
either do
we
it
use it when
in
it's
the
cheaper
morning
because
or at
that's
night.
better for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend that because, oh, like, just doing these little things, like even like Amanda said, turning off the lights. Like I know probably all of us have forgotten to turn off the lights when walking out of a room.
Or like the fan or something.
Yeah, even the fan or just little things like that. And like by stopping that habit or that just those little things that happen sometimes, we can make a difference. So it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. And we have some things that we can check out. We'll try and put them in the description. One thing are some fashion websites that we got from our club moderator, actually. So there's places like Zero Waste Store, Mighty Nest, and Blue Heron Botanicals. And these are all zero waste fashion stores that has to deal with clothes and makeup. Please go check them out. It's an easy way to get things that you want, and they all help go to the environment. Also, another thing that we suggest is to check out Zach Efron's documentary series on Netflix, Down to Earth. It's very entertaining, and it's also very, very informative with great tips. They go around the world and visit different people, learn about the environment and sustainable things that they do in their country. So if you're just bored and you want to watch Netflix, it's definitely something that you could be interested about, and it'll give you a bunch of information on what you can do to help in your environment.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and
Mm-hmm.
it gives you great ideas, and it's like Amanda said, it's super educational. Like we were talking about geothermal energy as a renewable energy source, and the first episode talks about that. So
Mm-hmm.
just stuff like that, that's really informative and interesting.
Yeah.
So, and even though it seems like you can't make a difference by yourself, know that every little thing helps. And if we're going to truly make change and like an effort to save our planet, it's going to have to start with every single person. So,
Yeah, we need to all really come together and try to make a difference. And yeah, like Bianca said, even though it seems like you can't make a difference by yourself, every little thing helps. So please just go out there and do one thing. If it's turning off the lights because you you leave them on sometimes, or using the dishwasher or laundry machine during the appropriate times, or even like maybe carpooling, all
Mm-hmm.
those things can make a difference because if we do that all together, then we could really help save our planet.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unqualified. Follow us on Twitter at unqualified_pod. Make sure you follow our podcast on Spotify and Anchor. We hope that you enjoyed and have a fantastic day. We're Unqualified.
And we'll catch you next time.